Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We're glad to have you join us. I am Lydia Odije Ochi. Now the details. Senate is considering a proposed law that seeks to establish the Institute of Bitumen Management. The bill, sponsored by Senator Nicholas Tofowomo, has passed second reading and is expected to expand Nigeria's source of revenue through bitumen exploration and to produce the desired manpower to drive the sector. The Federal Capital Territory College of Nursing and Midwifery Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Sani Musa, also passed second reading. It seeks to give legal backing to the already existing college. Meanwhile, the Senate, through a motion by Senator Emmanuel Bacha, has urged the Acting Inspector General of Police, the Police Service Commission, and the National Judicial Council to investigate alleged unlawful detention of 14 indigents of Taraba South Senatorial District by the State Commissioner of Police. Meanwhile, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions has given the Chairman Code of Conduct Tribunal Justice Danladi Umar 2 weeks to respond to a petition against him of alleged assault on a security operative at Banex Plaza in Abuja. Dayo Ogunshola reports.
An amateur video had surfaced on the internet on 29th of March 2021, alleging that Justice Umar Danladi assaulted a security operative. Based on petition that followed the video, the justice appeared before the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions to respond to issues contained in the petition against him.
Ordinarily, I need time to look at it, look at the video, and then I will now respond properly. So in a nutshell, I will be asking for a brief period of time to enable me to respond to all the things that are been said here.
This is a sensitive case, and we believe Nigerians will listen, will watch us. So in order not to make it a nonsense appearance when senators are not available, I will seek the judgment of my colleagues that after breaking for 1 week, we should come and attend to this matter before Nigerians. So we give him 2 weeks.
Counsel to the petitioner requested that security agencies be cautioned against harassing anybody connected with the matter. The committee is expected to take responses from Justice Danladi on 18th of May 2021. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has adopted a resolution urging the National Population Commission to suspend the planned census exercise due to security concerns. The issue raised under matters of urgent public importance pointed to the challenge of insecurity in most parts of the country, which has led to displacement of persons to distant locations, some as far as neighboring countries. The House notes that conducting a census amounts to placing staff on the path of danger, as their lives will be also at risk due to kidnappings and banditry. The lawmakers were of the view that accuracy may not be achieved should the exercise go ahead. While urging the Commission to put on hold the population census until security situation stabilizes, the House resolved to invite the chairman of the National Population Commission to make clarification on the feasibility of the exercise. Michael is in Lagos. It's over to Michael for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Lydia. The Lagos State House of Assembly has suspended 3 local government council chairmen over alleged disregard for state's local government guidelines. Musa Tolias reports that their suspension was unanimously approved by members on the floor of the Assembly.
The suspended chairmen are Suleiman Jalili, Alimosha Local Government Area, Tajuddin Ajide, Surulere Local Government Area, and Ogidan Olaitan of Lekki Local Council Development Area. The suspension stemmed from complaints from Honorable Bisi Yusuf from Alimosha Constituency 1 and some lawmakers on abuse of office and utter disregard to local government guidelines. Honorable Yusuf therefore urged his colleagues to suspend the chairman pending the outcome of investigations and to serve as deterrents to others.
Mr. Ogidan, the chairman of Lekki LCDA, could not even interpret the MOU as a lawyer and or deliberately misinterpreted the MOU to suit his own purpose.
We also discovered that the procurement law passed by this Honorable House were not complied with.
The Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, who upheld the suspension of the 3 local council chairmen, noted that the House cannot continue to watch while council chairmen flout the laws they are supposed to uphold.
Friday's election will be coming up. A new set of council chairmen will be coming in. And I think creating precedents will be something dangerous for local government administration in Lagos State if we fail to act appropriately. But I think we just need to do something before it gets out of hand. That the 3 of them that I've mentioned should be suspended indefinitely till further notice. So all in support say aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it.
The Speaker directed the Clerk of the House to inform Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in writing about the decision of the House of Assembly. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
For Nigeria to achieve and sustain national security and cohesion, it is imperative that proactive steps are taken to quell divisive rhetorics and renew the confidence of all citizens in the Nigerian project. This is the position of residents of Lagos State and concerned stakeholders in response to the wave of insecurity in the country. Adeni Taiwo completes the reports.
Lagos, a state of over 20 million population, peopled by different ethnic groups from across the country. The pride of the nation, bubbling with life, but not a stranger to conflicts.
Look at how they are doing. Look at how they are destroying in front of last two. In front of last two.
In recent times, these are some of the emerging pictures and narratives on traditional and social media, a hint that Lagos, which has just emerged from the ruins and toils of the EndSARS protest, may not be exempted from the current wave of tribal agitations in part of the country, thereby putting enormous strain on national security and cohesion.
We should, in Lagos, as we should throughout the country, be able to know our citizens, to know where they live. We cannot fight insecurity if we don't know where Nigerians live, if we don't know them by name.
Beyond offering Nigerians a large market to trade and thrive, Mile 12 International Food Market in the heart of Lagos holds other lessons, not only on the importance of peace to national development, but also on how the country can better manage its diversity.
We are treating each and every one of us as brothers. We all of us here, both Igbo, Yoruba and Hausas, we are relating like brothers and sisters. All the tribes in Nigeria, including my tribes, Northern, they are patronizing me, they are buying market from my hand. Why? Because whenever they come, I do play with them, joke with them. And that is what market needs.
And if it is Igbo man, the same thing. If it is Yoruba person, it is the same thing. The only thing that can help Nigeria to succeed is when we live in unity.
Nigeria, that's how we want Nigeria to do. If there is something happening in other places, so they have to immediately send the security to the place so that everything will calm down.
Considering its vast potential for growth, Nigeria, these stakeholders believe, deserves a second chance at living in peace.
Our leaders have a duty to create a sense of belonging for every Nigerian. That way, we will be able to forge a greater nation.
They say the era of exploiting fault lines to achieve political ends must end for the nation to flourish in peace. In Lagos, Adini Itaiwo, NTA News.
Time now for some messages, and when we return, the news continues from Benin. Do stay.
The Presidential Visitation Panel on Assessment of Universities in the country is in Edo State as part of efforts to improve infrastructure and learning facilities in the institutions. Chairman of the panel and former head of service of the Federation and Minister of Housing, Ama Pepple, is leading the team to the University of Benin and is seeking the support of the state government and Oba of Benin in actualizing the mandate. Jude Abugu reports.
The visitation panel is in the state to assess the state of infrastructure and learning facilities at the university. It seeks the support of the state governor, Godwin Obaseki, in the development of the university.
We are getting a lot of support from the university authorities, and we think we are progressing at a steady pace, and we see what we can cover in the time that is available to us.
Governor Godwin Obaseki read out some recent projects executed by his government in the University of Benin.
I have no doubts that you will do a great job, and whatever support we can give as a state government will, certainly going to offer that support. And we're also looking up to you because we want to take a cue from what you are doing, from the kind of analysis and insights that you will come up with, so that way we know how to also, tackle some of the issues we have with some of them in our universities, but also universities under our care as a state government.
As a mark of respect, the team paid a courtesy visit to the Oba of Benin, where Oba of Benin gave his blessings.
In terms of reference, enumerated a lot of things. I'm not sure you want to go into details because I'm not giving us the report we are calling back to Abuja. But I do pray that you were impressed with what you found. If not, if there's anything we can do on our side, we will do our best to assist.
On the agenda of the team is the visit to the State Police Command, where the Commissioner of Police, Philip Ogbadu, assured them of continued support of the police in securing the university community. At the time of filing this report, the visitors are at the University of Benin to assess the state of facilities and rate the performance of the school in some key areas from 2011 to 2019. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
And now the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Esther Edegin, has granted bail to one inmate at the Oku Correctional Center, with 3 others transferred to the facility in Auchi for justice delivery. She performed these functions during her oversight on jail delivery in the state. Dennis Temple has details.
Some of the facilities were breached some time ago as an aftermath of the NSAS protest. But the justice system in Edo State continued to move on with a renewed zeal to forestall a reoccurrence. Partly, most of the inmates who returned to jail or those who did not participate at all were promised to be rewarded. The Chief Judge outlined the categories of persons who will benefit from her jail delivery exercise to include those awaiting trial who have been in custody for more than 6 years, all inmates who are terminally ill, low-risk offenders, among others. She says these are beneficiaries of the discretion granted the chief judge. They are Osaletin Osamudiame, who got a grant, while 3 persons were transferred to our chief facility for justice delivery.
Today shall mark the first time ever that we seek to give life to this section of the Act where there are deserving inmates who fall into this category.
Your assistance in prevailing on the governor of the state to complement the service in provision of these vehicles to convey inmates to court will facilitate timely conveyance.
You have set us speedy trial of inmates, and the Directorate of Public Prosecution, DPP, have been rendered strong.
This is the last chair delivery the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Esther Diggin, will be performing before her retirement on the May 17th this year. In Benin, Dennis Temple, NTA News.
You're on to Nationwide. The news continues with Lydia in Abuja.
Many thanks, Ogo Chukuka. The House Joint Committee set up to investigate environmental pollution in the Niger Delta region has advised concerned government agencies to submit evidence that will help in the investigation of environmental pollution and destruction of farmlands in the region. Dayo Ogunshola has that one.
The House Joint Committee, made up of environment and that of host communities, was set up to investigate oil spillage in some host communities in Niger Delta, with a mandate to report back to the House for an informed decision for further legislative action. Having taken inputs from the Director General, National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, who attributed oil spillage to act of vandalism and illegal refineries, the committee frowned at failure of other invited agencies to honor their invitations.
What is happening here appears to me that issue of levity, the people being treated with levity, is also being carried to this hearing, and we will not accept that.
We all have time for other things that we have to create time to attend to this assignment that we have been given. We are not reading any letter from any organization.
Members of the Joint Committee, however, made far-reaching submissions on steps to be taken to ensure that violators of environment regulations are made to face the full wrath of the law. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live.
Reactions have continued to trail the arrest of the alleged sponsor of unknown gunmen involved in the attacks in Imo State. Marian Vincent Oko, who visited the host community of the alleged suspect in Owerri, has details.
The news of arrest of the alleged sponsor of unknown gunmen said to have carried out the series of attacks and killings in Imo State, including the attack on the custodial center and the Imo State Police Command headquarters, came as a surprise to residents of the state. The alleged culprit, whose name is given as Nnamdi Okafor, hails from Osu local government area of Imo State and is also the director of Pecubel Hotel, Owerri. A visit by NTA News to the hotel, located at Aboha Ohi community in Owerri West local government area, shows some residents were too surprised to discuss the subject matter. Some youths of the area who volunteered information confirmed the incident, but could not readily tell the source of the arrest.
I have heard something like that as of yesterday evening. But the truth about the matter is that I don't know how it happens. Someone told me that as of yesterday, some group of men, police people, came to pick the man up.
I'm not really sure of what he did. Understand? We had a news
about the allegation lay on the director of the Pekube Hotel. Is a tenant here, so the whole, how will I put it, the whole community, they are on shock, to hear such news.
Although the police is yet to officially confirm the arrest of Nnamdi Okafor, the news widely spread on the social media is seen as part of the effort by security agencies to bring the perpetrators of violence in Imo State to book. In Owerri, Marian Vincent Oko, NTA News.
The Nigerian army has reacted to a misleading report on the social media alleging that a serving soldier, Lance Corporal Adamu Galadima, was involved in an alleged case of kidnap and murder of a child after collecting the sum of 5 million naira as ransom. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations Brigadier General Mohammed Yarima says, contrary to the claim, Lance Corporal Adamu Galadima was dismissed from the Nigerian Army in 2013 after a general court-martial in Kaduna found him guilty. The last unit was 2 provost groups where he was involved in a case of attempted murder leading to his arrest and prosecution before the General Court-Martial in Kaduna. Brigadier General Yarima stressed that Adamu Galadima was not a personnel of the Nigerian Army as at April 2021 when he committed the alleged crime. The national security of the Nigerian state is a panacea for building a stable and progressive society, regardless of socio-political or other differences that characterized the existence of all facets of the nation. This occupied the minds of guests on NTA Current Affairs program Tuesday Live on ways of strengthening security and national integration. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
Nigeria's security architecture has come under threat by activities of proscribed groups, leading to panic and loss of lives and property from avoidable circumstances. These sad commentaries in the nation's history is now attracting views of key players to finding lasting solutions to the insecurity bedeviling parts of the country and fanning the ember of war.
Any person, any individual or group standing to discuss issue or division of this country will be shooting itself at the toe, because what Organized General Assembly is working assiduously very soon we'll begin to get our program is to make sure that Nigeria and the people, we are united, and we are united in common front. We fight our security challenges together. We'll discuss our prosperity together.
This nation is a great nation. We have sacrificed a lot to keep the nation as one indivisible entity. But because some certain situations whereby some people feel that I'm not in the vanguard of this and that, and then the next thing is that every other person must go down with me.
The Rwanda and Somalia genocide and that of other African countries are classified under unwholesome incidents Nigerians should derive lessons from and embrace peaceful national integration.
After democracy came on board, there were lots of different ethnic, cultural groups came up. Unfortunately, again, some of these were misused. And then we began to see people speak irresponsibly. But for me, one of the major misnomer of our current democracy is actually the irresponsible, violent political culture.
It is not a time that we must do the business of exclusion, the business of partisanship. The challenges of security facing this nation today requires that all hands must be on deck.
Drug abuse, proliferation of firearms, thuggery, and ethnic profiling are described as fuel for rising tension in the country, and convening of high-level security summit was also suggested to defeat retrogressive elements. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
A post-traumatic center that will cater for officers that suffer post-traumatic stress disorder arising from experiences at the front line is in the pipeline, an initiative of the Defense Officers' Wives Association, DEPOA. To this end, the association is seeking the support of the Nigerian Army and other services. President of the association, Mrs. Vicky Irabo, made the request when she led members of the association on a courtesy visit to the Nigerian Army headquarters, Abuja.
To propose the establishment of a PTSD evaluation and rehabilitation center to evaluate, counsel, and provide adequate support to officers, soldiers, and by extension their wives prior to reintegration from the Northeast and other conflict zones.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Atahiru Ibrahim, who commended the initiative, promised to support the project. You're still watching Nationwide. Our next stop is Jos, and Zinret is waiting with more reports. Hello, Zinret.
Dear, thanks for joining us in Jos. Governor Simon Lalong has inaugurated chairmen and members of 41 boards, parastatals, commissions and governing councils with a charge on them to bring in viable policy directions that will uplift the various sectors to enviable heights. Cameron Kaneng-Ladoja reports.
Members of the 32 boards, parastatals, commissions and governing councils across the state are to serve in all critical sectors to include tertiary and health institutions, water and sanitation, emergency management and religious commissions. Their inauguration is to add impetus to his administration's policy direction of delivering good governance to the people and ensuring that the machinery of government works smoothly through informed policy formulation. He urged the members to see the assignment as a call to serve the state.
I expect the board chairman and members to be top and diligent in monitoring the activities of the agencies to ensure diligent execution and policies in order to ensure that the state and its people are not shortchanged. I will hold you responsible if under your watch public resources are mismanaged, stolen or misapplied.
Captain Joseph Dean, retired, who responded on behalf of the members, pledged their commitment to the progress of the state.
We've been trusted with this appointment, so I beg that everybody wants to do what is right, so that Plateau remains less.
The members are expected to commence work immediately. In Jos, Ekemarin Kaleng-Ladoja, NTA News.
Plateau State government says it is committed to ensuring smooth takeoff of the newly established Federal Polytechnic Shandam. The governor gave this assurance in Jos while receiving management of the institution. Priscilla Grumnan has details.
Plateau State Governor, while receiving the management staff of the institution, again expressed appreciation to the federal government for the gesture, saying it will go a long way in reducing admission challenges facing people of the state.
Before even you came, we had already done the needful. What we are supposed to do, we are already doing it. There is no way any state can have this privilege and will not say they will assist you. Let me guarantee and also assure you that the takeover of this polytechnic is going to be one of the best in the.
His administration, he says, will evolve strategies that will ensure smooth takeoff of the polytechnic, adding that the people of the state will sustain support for the present administration. Management of the institution expressed confidence in the ability of government to ensure early takeoff of the polytechnic.
We are requesting for a site with infrastructure for immediate takeoff of the institution. We are requesting for housing accommodation for the principal officers.
The Polytechnic is expected to, among other things, contribute to the technological development of the country. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
We'll take a commercial break now, after which Nationwide continues in Enugu.
Thank you so much for staying on. Good evening and welcome to Enugu. Today is World Hand Hygiene Day. In the peak of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, experts in Enugu have called on health workers to increase their hygiene tips to limit the risk of contracting germs at the point of care. Comfort Ayim reports.
Since the pandemic started, health experts, scientists, and government have put a lot of emphasis on hand washing, among other health safety protocols, to maintain hand hygiene for effective infection prevention and control. Coming in the peak of the second and third wave of COVID-19, World Health Hygiene Day, introduced in May 5, 2009 by World Health Organization 6 to promote visibility and sustainability of hand hygiene in health care.
The focus of the World Hand Hygiene Day is on healthcare workers, so that patients who are supposed to be under our care do not leave the hospital with new healthcare-acquired infections.
WHO has tried to make it simple by creating what is called the 5 movement of hand hygiene at the point of care. The measure is to prevent a health worker from infecting the patient with organisms from hands and prevent the health caregiver from taking what he has gotten from the patient's environment.
So the emphasis all these years has been on saving lives through keeping clean hands. We are calling on the policymakers to invest now to ensure hand hygiene. We're also calling on managers of facilities to ensure that the materials for hand hygiene are available. We're calling on healthcare practitioners to practice with clean hands.
Practicing good hygiene is a priority for maintaining overall health and wellness in line with the 2021 theme, Achieving Hand Hygiene at the Point of Care. In Enugu, Comfort Ayim, NTA News.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyama, says the economic potentials abound in Enugu State, if properly harnessed, will bring about economic growth and development in the state. The minister was speaking at this year's UDI Economic Summit held at the UDI local government area of the state. Chidi Okorafo reports.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyama, who harped on the need to invest in young people, called for good governance and enabling environment to fully tap on the potentials abound in UDI. Mr. Onyama enumerated the factors for economic development and growth in UDI local government area.
Entrepreneurship, how to develop that ability to transform things into profit. And that's actually what innovation is about. You can here and provide the enabling environment for young people to come up with new ideas, but also how you now make it acceptable, or to be taken up in the market.
We need to establish a data bank of professionals and goods and services. We need to have a record of them. There are various areas of expertise and competence. We also need to have a record of the goods that are offered, the services that are offered within UDI local government.
The Economic Summit is aimed at harnessing the potentials which abound in UDI local government area for economic growth and development. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. We'll now rejoin Lydia in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
The Federal Executive Council has approved over $8.28 billion as well as 3.01 billion naira for the execution of various contracts aimed at upgrading the nation's power infrastructure for effective service delivery to consumers. The Minister of Power, Salim Maman, announced this while briefing journalists after the Council's meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has more.
This is the 44th meeting of the Federal Executive Council to be held virtually in the new normal and 15th for the year 2021. Efforts at enhancing power supply in Nigeria for sustainable socio-economic development dominate discussions. The Minister of Power, Salim Maman, presented 6 memoranda for consideration by Council members.
The first one is the award of the contract for design, manufacturing, and supply of critical spare parts for chromosomes grapes 330 kV, 132 kV, and 33 kV circuit breakers in the sum of 298,339,887 naira. And the second one is the award of the contract for the procurement of 50 sets of 400 AH battery banks, 30 to 50 volts, and 30 number of 110 volts battery chargers for the substation used by the TCN in the sum of 644,805,953 naira 10 kobo.
Approval has also been granted for the procurement of 50 sets of 132 kV isolators for the Transmission Company of Nigeria at 53.9 million naira, as well as $840,650.
And the fourth one is the award of the contract for the design, manufacturing, and the supply of 360/66 MVA 132 kV power transformers with accessories, and 15 number of 500 kV transformers, 33.415 kV earthing transformers for the TCN in the sum of 1,296,953,044 naira 55 kobo.
The Ministry of Power has also been given the go-ahead to award contract for the design, supply, and installation of optical ground wire, as well as universal optical transportation network system for some critical transmission lines at 668.8 million naira and $6.5 million. Similarly, the Council approved an upward review of the contract sum for the design, manufacture, supply, installation, and commissioning of 132/33 power transformer at Ogba Transmission Substation in Lagos in the sum of 48.3 million naira and over $648,000.
All this procurement is geared towards upgrade of the transmission system to the national grid, so that we are going to have a sufficient power supply to the nation.
The Minister of Power, Salim Mamman, used the opportunity to reaffirm the commitment of the federal government towards closing the metering gap in the nation's electricity supply industry. Already, he said, 1 million out of the 4 million meters to be supplied under the meter asset provider have been deployed, aimed at stopping estimated billing in Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Thanks, Adamu. As the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, prepares for another orientation course for the 2021 Batch A, the scheme says it is considering increasing the number of corps members who will be participating in the exercise scheduled for this month. The Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, stated this during 2021 pre-mobilization workshop. Olainka Ojo was there.
The last 4 orientation courses by the NYSC have seen a reduction in the number of youth corps members who participate in the exercise with strict adherence to COVID-19 protocol. And with the plan to increase the number of participants on camp as the next orientation course is around the corner, imagine what it means to manage corps population in NYSC orientation camps in the context of the new normal. Now, it is time for stock taking with a view to improving performance in subsequent orientation course.
Explore the prospect of increased camp capacity without losing sight of the need to adhere strictly to the safety protocols, as we must learn to operate optimally under the new normal.
The National Youth Service Corps has been at the forefront of fostering national unity and the fight against COVID-19.
Emeka Ugu, a participant at this workshop, is the camp director of Jigawa State NYSC.
We are going to strengthen the COVID-19 vanguards.
Just like Ugu, Chukwu Chiwendu, who is the Rivers State NYSC coordinator, says security measures have also been put in place for a hitch-free exercise. The workshop has in attendance state coordinators, camp directors, and camp commandants. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
In fulfillment of Governor Udom's administration of ensuring food sufficiency and security, the Akwa Ibom State government has flagged off distribution of farm inputs to public schools across the state. Utibe Achibong reports that the distribution, which started in Ikodekpene Senatorial District, had principals of different public schools within the Senatorial District and some agricultural science teachers in attendance.
Recently, the state government announced a resuscitation of farming in public schools, and to match its words with action, the Ministry of Agriculture flagged off the distribution of cassava cuttings and maize seeds to public schools in Ikodekpene Senatorial District. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Gloria Edet, during the flag-off, insisted that the planting of this farm input should commence immediately, as this would help the schools generate income. She warned against delay, as inspection of the schools' farms will be conducted soon to ascertain the level of work done.
If you cultivate this, it will also help your school. As a ministry, we are not saying when you harvest, bring the cassava to us, or when you harvest, bring the maize to us. No, you can sell the maize and buy some things in your school. You can sell the cassava and get revenue and buy things in the school. We are not saying bring back to us. No, we are only supporting you.
With this encouragement, we are going to do our best to make sure that we encourage agriculture in our different schools.
After planting this cassava stem and the maize as you have directed, in fact, it shall surely be of a great profit, not at a loss.
I should bless the executive governor of the state for introducing this program.
This is a source of revenue to the school.
In Uyo, Utibe Achibong, NTA News.
The federal and Ogun State governments have entered into partnership to empower over 1,000 youths through agriculture in Odeda local government area of Ogun State. Ogun State Commissioner for Agriculture, Adeola Odedino, said this during an inspection of land cleared for the project that the aim is to reduce poverty and unemployment in the country. Anthony Ganduno was at the project site in Apojola village, Odeda local government of Ogun State.
The land acquired by the Ogun State government at Akpojula village in Odeda local government area of the state was meant to achieve the state government agricultural agenda of involving more youth in agriculture. Commissioner for Agriculture Adeola Odedino and the Permanent Secretary in the Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture, who led a team from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to inspect the land cleared for agricultural purposes in different locations in the community, said the collaboration with the federal government will not only reduce youth unemployment but will also ensure food sufficiency and poverty reduction.
If you want to use irrigation, you have to go to a site suitable for irrigation. You have the water here. What we need, and we're already in possession, is to get the pipes and everything to link it so that those young people will not depend on rain alone.
Representatives of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the Permanent Secretary of the State Ministry of Agriculture noted that the joint project is aimed at achieving climate-smart agricultural policy and empowering the youth.
We've been having a collaboration that is towards provision of food for the nation in general and also to create jobs for the youths. We are going to hand over the land to officially to Ogun State so that the youth can take over the land for agricultural purposes.
The team later paid homage to the village head and the people of Akpojula community and solicited their support for the success of the projects.
The National Park Service Nigeria has assured that no part of the Gashaka Gumti National Park in Taraba State is a hideout for bandits, and all parks nationwide are serving their purposes without hindrance. Conservator General National Park Service Nigeria Ibrahim Goni stated this at a media briefing held online in response to a trending media report that parts of the Gashaka Gumti National Park has been taken over by bandits. Olusheye Adeagbo has the details.
Gashaka Gumti National Park is said to be Nigeria's largest national park and its home in the mountainous region of the northeast across Adamawa and Taraba states. But a recent report transmitted on the national media that parts of the World Attraction Center has been taken over by bandits. The Conservator General has been speaking on how false that is.
The attention of the management of the Nigerian National Park Service has been drawn to a news report broadcast by the African Independent Television, AIT, that bandits have taken over part of the Gashaka-Gumti National Park. The management of the service wishes to state that the said report is totally false. We wish to categorically state that Gashaka-Gumti National Park or any part thereof has not been taken over by bandits or any other clandestine group or groups.
Mohammed Kabir, conservator of the park, and other partners at the meeting also testified to the state of the park.
I wish to also state very clearly that normal conservation and tourism activities have continued in the park unabated.
Up to yesterday, we came out. We went all to the nook and crannies of Gashaka-Gumti National Park. All we have been there conducting the surveys. We went to Masabere without seeing any bandits.
The responses from the actors in Nigeria's parks management highlights the importance to adding value to services in the national parks in Nigeria that ensure efficiency and quality delivery in the system. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Advocating equal access to communication for all is a thrust of a meeting between the Association of Sign Language Interpreters of Nigeria, an umbrella body for the Association of the Deaf, and the management of the NTA. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
Ability in disability is a general slogan. Janet is a producer with the NTA and has hearing impairment. For her, working in an establishment that requires vocal sound could be a challenge, but could be overcome with more access to some level of facilities for persons living with disability.
Maybe my boss wants to talk to me. She'll be talking. I'll tell her, I can't hear you. Then she'll remember, oh, so that often happens to me. So with patience, I know we can do more better.
Janet is not alone, as this group from the Association of the Deaf and Sign Language Interpreters are advocating more visibility on primetime news and programs of the NTA, as well as facilities to aid these categories of people.
For many years, we have been trying and making efforts that our skills should be relevant.
We know NTA is the first TV to make that opportunity available for interpreters. We need more of it so that we can have equal opportunity.
For the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, a recognized pioneer in interpretation and sign language, promises to continue to support persons living with disability.
NTA also has respect for the rights, and also NTA wants to reach out to them to give them a sense of belonging as citizens of this great country. That is why NTA decided to commence or to deploy the sign language interpretation process.
With the signing of the Disability Bill into law and the establishment of a National Commission for Persons Living with Disabilities, Janet and others are optimistic of better deals. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Lagos State team has emerged winner of the Rising Stars Basketball Championship competition held in Akure, Ondo State. Abiola Ario reports that the championship, organized by Olumide Oyedeji, had 6 competing teams drawn from southwest Nigeria.
6 teams drawn from the southwestern states of Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Ondo, and Ekiti states participated in the 5-day competition comprising 3 matches and 4 quarters. Team Lagos and Oyo slugged it out in the final round of the competition. At the end of the game, Lagos basketball team recorded 73 points, while Oyo recorded 70 points.
For so many years right away now,
The children have been training without competition. There is no competition for them, to showcase their talents. But thank God for Olumide Oyedeji, for bringing this to Southwest.
But I have to appreciate my boys. They try their best.
Sometimes in sports, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All we need to do is to go back to the drawing board and prepare for the next tournament.
Winning this MVP trophy is a really great thing, and I'm proud of it.
I decided to have this tournament to encourage the younger players and also to empower them to have a life skills and for them to give them opportunity to play a game of basketball that all what they love.
In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
You can get more news and updates on www.nta.ng or follow us on our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/NTA Network News, and also stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Also remember to watch our news live streaming at www.nta.ng/live.
That concludes Nationwide. We thank you for being a part of it. Remember to always join NTA in its stand against rape and rapists. I am Lydia Odije-Ochi. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.